Oh, good morning guys. I am back at the cabin. I know you guys have been waiting for us to reboot this series for a long time. Got a special delivery, dropped off insulation. We're moving on to the interior of the cabin, finally. So here we are. This is exactly where we left off. We have not made any progress since. So we got wiring in, we got the tar paper in, but it didn't all start off here. A couple days ago we came out and we did a big spring cleanup. So instead of boring you with the tedious job of insulating, it's so tedious that Kevin is not even going to come out here to help me. I'm operating solo. So we're going to rewind a little bit. I'm going to bring it back to spring cleanup, and then maybe by the end of it we'll actually be finished insulating. That's what I'm hoping for. A couple hours of work, we'll get this thing knocked out, and then we can move on to the fun stuff like actually finishing off the interior. We're doing some cleanup work. Still got our maple syrup buckets here. Got our evaporated. Did you guys watch that episode? We're setting up a couple burn piles over here for all our refuse. This is what happens after, you know, you get your spring melt. Obviously I've been off in Maine doing the survival challenge too. We got a huge refuse pile that we obviously buried in the snow, so we couldn't deal with. Got a little bit of, we got a snow shovel out here still. But, have a look around, just look at the mess here. So that's what we're going to take care of that today. We do plan to reboot this project. I got the generator house still. We've got some cut logs that got buried in the snow. So our other burn pile here. So where we're at with the cabin is the interior, and I'm hoping to have this done by the fall. That's my goal. Kevin's pretty busy with work, and you know, YouTube is not his full-time job, as it's become my full-time job, covering the things that I do and that I would be doing anyway. But this cabin here we've been working on our spare time on the weekends and stuff like that. So it's basically how we left it. It's got no insulation. We finished off with the electrical, mostly electrical. We didn't bury the line coming in from the generator house because, well, it was winter time. So we got to get the line feed in there, and then we're going to put the insulation in, then we're going to drywall. I know it sounds funny to drywall, but we're going to drywall to the roof pitch here, and then after that it's going to be wood, and then we're going to do a wainscoting, whatever you say, below all the way around. So it's going to break it up. Whether if we just did wood, it looks, to me it looks weird. So we're going to do wood, drywall, wood. So it's mostly going to be wood, and obviously we're going to use that all materials that we have on site. So I mean, that's where we're at. Kevin's about to bring down a burn bin so we can take care of the burn pile. So we're going to load all that up in the pile, and then we can torch it. That's just the best way to do it when you live off grid here.
Water?
Yeah.
Smells like water.
Special helpy burny water. Magic of fire water. Tell me about the fire.
The fire thing is shaking around. Shaking around.
Yeah.
Shaking around.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking water.
Is it good?
I got a sore throat.
You have a sore throat?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not good.
I can't open the water.
You can't open it again? Okay, go this way, other way. Lefty loosey. Keep left, 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 left. There you go.
I got it.
Let's go. It's mostly water. And just so you know, that's heating oil and it's designed to be burned.
Come check out what we managed to do. This whole space is all nicely cleaned out. We took out 3 stumps I think. So we have a handful of stumps up there. It takes quite a bit of effort to get them out, but we will get rid of those. And maybe we'll make a cook station here. Thinking something there. You can see our burn piles are pretty much done out. Check out the fly bites on my arm. I just got massacred everywhere. Brutal. So that's all taken care of here. We got rid of all the maple syrup buckets. We brought them to the creek, washed them up. You can see it's all cleaned up. This side is all cleaned up. We got rid of our refuse pile over here. We still have to take care of this. We're trying to decide what we should do with our maple syrup evaporator. We're deciding if we're going to use it again next year, if we're going to store it or get rid of it. You see all back here, remember that big pile of junk? We salvaged what we could, all the good stuff, usable stuff. The rest went into the burn pile. We got it all cleaned up all the way up to the generator house, all ready to go. And so the idea I had was to clean this up, to try to get Kevin back on board. He is super busy doing his day job, which is renovation construction. And so he doesn't have a ton of time to dedicate to this. But my thought was, if we could get this all cleaned up, then we can start working on what you guys want to see, which is the interior, and what I want to do too. My goal is to have it done by the fall, and then I can do the fall hunt out here and have a base camp ready to go. That's my hope for it. Whether we get it done, who knows. As you're seeing this, this is filmed in early June, so we got a lot of time to get it done. Clean slate, clean palette. If you guys have ever worked on a construction site, you know every once in a while you got to just stop everything and clean up, and it just makes all the work in progress so much easier. So now we can bring our materials through, no problem. We don't have to worry about any junk, and then all the materials is stored up the other side of the property, so we can go grab it when we need it. You see how much ash is in there? That's like full of ash. And it's like 3-4 feet deep. I wasn't really going to film anything today. I just came out for extra half day. So spending some time over at the pond and wanted to finish up the installation here so that we can move on to the next step. So and I thought about it this morning. I thought, I haven't really had a big talk or end chat. My beard's all messed up because of the mask. I wear a mask on my face, protect from insulation dust, messing up my whole beard. Anyway, it had occurred to me that I hadn't really had an end video chat in a long time. I'm thinking about something for a long time, something that kind of dawned on me. One of those life lesson moments that you just like, why was I doing it that way for so long when I could have just been doing it the right way? And I think this comes into how we're wired as tribes people. We're wired to be in communities of about 100 people, and there's research on that. And we can't really handle big groups because we just don't have the psychology for it. We don't understand what it means to have an infinite number of relationships, because that's really what can happen in your life. You could basically run into different people all the time. You can have continual influx, outflux of friends, acquaintances your whole life, and you can never really form any solid attachments with any of those people if you want. I'm not advocating that you do that, but what I am gonna share with you is the concept I've been working on with Holden, and that's the ability to move on and leave people behind. So the temptation goes for a 10-year-old now to be playing a lot of games and watching a lot of videos and stuff like that, and it's mostly our fault. I've determined, because we're just not outside enough, and if we're not outside, then they're not outside. And so part of the cabin build is just to have him out, and if he doesn't really want help with what we're doing, with which is adult stuff, he can go off and play and explore on his own, or he can bring a friend out. And so he's forced to be outside, which is a lot better than him being isolated inside. But he noticed a friend when he invited over on the weekend. We try to do that so that he has people to hang out with, because he doesn't have any brothers and sisters. So we do our best to have friends over. Well, we invited one friend over, and his one friend, he's a guy who plays, they play this online game together every once in a while if they're on the computer at the same time. Good friends of his, and he wants to go play with them online, and I'm like, try to explain to him, you're not playing with him. So he had him over on a Saturday, and his mom sent him over with a cell phone. And as part of the rules, when he comes over, he has to play outside first, and then after that he can have his time on the computer and he can share it with his friend. But then after that they have to go back outside. Well, his friend has no limits on the amount of gaming, so he'll be online no matter when Holden goes online to play their game together, which means he's on all the time. No limits. It's also a kid that's falling behind in school and has some other behavioral issues, most likely because of it, a lack of attention and aggression based on some of the games that Holden's telling me he's playing. Well, when he came over, he after we kicked Holden off the computer and his games, his buddy kept taking up the cell phone and playing with it. And Holden was encouraging him to go play. They go down to school at the playground. They've got road hockey we play, bikes, inline skates, baseball, soccer, basketball, everything. There's a whole bunch of things that they can do outside. Holden's picked up on track and field from hockey. We were doing squats and deadlift. So I've been training him to be faster skater. I shouldn't say I've been training him. I introduced him to some of the things that I'm doing, the deadlift and the squats, to improve his skating. He's actually on a rep team this year. Rep team means, there's a house league level, everybody makes it, and then there's rep levels where you have to try out. Well, he moved up from house league, which is a really difficult thing to do, into a rep team, and he did it through hard work. But when he decided he wanted to do it, we were doing squats and deadlift every single day, on rotation, on his choice, on his merit, because he really wanted to get good at it. And so he followed that through the track and field. And since we're talking about like leaving people behind, this is one of the ways I'm teaching him that if he pushes himself and he does something that nobody else is willing to do, he's able to leave people behind. And in this sense, it's not just figuratively, it's literally. he's able to race ahead of people. So he was able to place first in the 200 meter and second in the 100 meter overall out of 7 schools, which is impressive, I would say. And it's all based on the work he's done, all his hard work that he's pushed himself through to leave people behind. And now he's continuing to do these squats and deadlifts so he can get even stronger and better, and that'll carry through on the ice. And he's seen those results firsthand, where he's put in the effort for a long period of time and seen the effects it has. And then during the hockey season, he was getting really fast, and he got sick for about 3 weeks, so he couldn't do his squats and deadlift because we didn't want to push him. He didn't want to do it, and he didn't feel well enough, so obviously we'd take a break. And he's doing these squats and deadlifts on his own merit. He decides to do it. I ask him if he wants to do it. If he says yes, I spot him. I make sure he uses proper form. But if he doesn't want to do it at all or ever again, that's up to him. But what he realized after not doing the squats and deadlift for 3 or 4 weeks was that he lost all of his speed, because the speed it's not a natural thing for people to have. They have to work at it. And so my lesson to him has been to be able to decide that he needs to leave people behind. And it's something that I've discovered too, as far as, doing the YouTube and taking on all bunch of different projects, is that sometimes you can just let people behind. It's the greatest thing, to just to realize that there's so many other people out there. So if you don't have somebody to go fishing with or hunting with, because the friends that you're used to, they don't want to do that anymore, well, just leave them behind. Find a different group of people. There's almost an infinite number of potential friends that you can develop your life with and develop new skills, and you can leave some other people behind. It doesn't mean you just throw people out like they're disposable. But if somebody doesn't want to do something and you offer it to them 3 or 4 times and they still say no, then find somebody who you want to hang out with, who's interested in it. Find a different group of people. Find somebody else. So I've had really good success with that, as far as even getting sponsorships for the channel or different tools I need. If some company isn't interested, then I approach another company, and I'll do that maybe 5 or 6 times till I find somebody who wants to be successful. So anyway, that's my advice to you guys, is to to leave people behind if they want to be left behind. Just move on with your life and keep being productive. And gain that satisfaction, and not maliciously. Be like, laugh at people that you're surpassing, but at the same time, don't hold yourself back because somebody doesn't want to accelerate. Just know that there's somebody else out there that will potentially want to help you and want to succeed as well. So I want to end up that video here, and share me your thoughts down below. Let me know what you guys think of my concept, and maybe throw some positive words down for Holden, because I know he's actually worked really hard on this, and it's something that he has to put quite a bit of effort into, and he's stuck to it, which I'm very proud of. So Holden, if you ever watch this video, I'm very proud of you, and I'm happy for you that you are able to work hard and then be successful for that hard work, because that's something that you'll keep with you for the rest of your life. Is that as tight as you can go?
Yep.
It's a rock, eh, bud?